Hello everyone! Today we are talking about skills which you can grind and the ways to grind them. But since there have been many changes to the experience system lately, I'm going to start off with that. You can no longer gain experience by just crafting items or killing zombies. Well, you can actually gain experience from zombies, but there has to be a skill involved in that. So bombing them with pipe bombs or shooting a explosive crossbow bolt at them won't give you any experience. By the way, I'm testing here if you can kill irradiate fat cops with just molotovs. Apparently you can't, because molotovs don't deal enough damage to negate the regeneration of a radiated cop. But anyways, back to the skills and character levels. In order to get your first level in a skill, you'll need a couple of hundred of experience points, and in time it will rise to 1000, but you'll really notice the change after around level 50, because the experience difficulty will rise to equal your level. So for level 60 skill you'll need around 6000 experience, or for level 70 you'll need around 7000 experience, and so on. In order to get your first character level, you'll need 8000 experience. This equals around 10 skill levels or so, if you were only training one skill, which will probably not be the case. After your first character level, the difficulty will rise by 1.42% every level. So for level 3 you'll need 8113.6 experience points, for level 40 you'll need around 13,000 experience points, and for level 100 that would be 33,000 experience points. And here are the formulas if you want to count the experience requirement for level yourself. It's important to keep your character leveling because you get skill points, the requirements to craft steel and chemistry stations, and also you'll get higher quality items as loot from buildings and zombies. But now is the time for the main part of this guide. I'm going to start with skills which you'll be using very early on in the game, and I'll end the guide with the skills you'll probably be using in the end game. Alright, everyone knows how to level mining, and often it's the first skill to reach 100. And with all the perks unlocked and an auger, you'll be able to gain a lot of experience in a very short time. This could actually be the fastest skill to gain experience for your character, at least in the beginning. But there's certainly some contenders as you progress through the game, and besides it would be boring to mine 24/7. If someone didn't know, you gain mining experience by using pickaxes and axes on resource nodes and also trees. However, stone axes don't give you any mining experience, they give you construction tools experience. Keep that in mind. Now let's move on to the less obvious skills. The construction tool skill can be leveled up via three methods. One is by harvesting with stone axes or the rare Thesis stone axes. The second is taking cars or other things apart with wrench, and possibly the quickest way, which is building things. You get the same amount of experience from every kind of block. So it doesn't matter if it's a wood frame being upgraded to a wood block or a steel block being upgraded to a stainless steel block. You only get experience from the hit, which actually upgrades the block to the next tier. That's why it's crucial to get a decent tool early on. So try to get a nail gun or a claw hammer as fast as you can if you actually want to grind this skill. This is also a great skill to gain character levels, especially if you have a lot to build. So it's a good alternative to mining. Blunt weapons. There's not too much mystery surrounding this skill. Experience is best gained by killing zombies or destroying artificially built blocks, by which I mean buildings, walls, doors, windows, things like that. The best weapon to level up this skill is the sledgehammer because it has the highest damage per second. The best way to grind this skill up quickly and efficiently is to pick a building and start destroying it block by block. Don't forget about the two perks Pummel Beat and Breaking and Entering to make blunt weapons true multi-tools and make your grind easier. Fastest way to gain experience in blade weapon skill is to kill zombies and animals and then harvest them. The other way to gain experience to this skill is by hitting and destroying blocks. The problem with this method is that it's very slow. And while you can get extra experience by last hitting a block and destroying it, it's still kind of inconvenient. That's why my not so very sportsmanlike suggestion is that you find a building that is safe or a cave and start destroying the blocks with knives. But since the grind might take a toll on your sanity because it's so slow, I suggest that you tape down your left mouse button and leave your character to punch the blocks by himself. As you progress through the game, you might notice that the level in your armor skill hasn't gone up that much. That's because it's rational to avoid being hit in this game because it's deadly. But if you still want to gain the bonuses from the armor skill or otherwise level up this skill, you should probably equip a couple of pieces of armor and find some wood spikes to sit on. That's because they are the fastest and cheapest item to level up your armor skill. Another way that's a bit riskier but even more efficient is to find a zombie, remove its arms and legs and let it bite you. This is the fastest way to gain armor experience. For this you'll obviously need some healing items, so be prepared with a couple of first aid bandages or kits. Trading is a skill that is super easy to level later on when you have items to sell. 1 Duke's token equals 10 experience, so if you sell an item worth 100 Duke's tokens you will get 1000 experience points, which is just enough to give you a level up in this skill. But you should keep in mind that you can only get 1 level from 1 single sale. So instead of selling hundreds of valuable items in one chunk, you should sell them one by one. So if you have a lot of loot to sell, you could go from 0 to 100 in bartering in just seconds, making this skill the fastest one to level up, if you don't count in the time it took to get the loot. Anyways, check out my trading guide for some tips on what to trade and what not to trade. Medicine is probably the slowest skill to level up and grind. Experience wise, it doesn't matter which kind of healing item you use, it could be just an ordinary bandage and you'd get the same experience as from a first aid kit. It also doesn't matter if you're full health or not, you always get the same chunk of experience when you use a healing item. The main reason for leveling medicine up is getting extra health when you use a healing item, so I guess you better start growing that cotton in your base and start making bandages. Now just a quick reminder about archery. Don't use explosive crossbow bolts or flaming arrows if you want to gain experience, so use only the ordinary ammunition to level this skill up. Zombie hordes are always a good way to train your combat skills. However, sometimes it's a bit hard to find a horde of zombies when you need them. The solution for this is to perhaps build a separate base which generates a lot of heat, or aggro as some might call it. In my opinion, the best items for heat generation are burning barrels and torches. That's because unlike campfires and forges, they require no upkeep in terms of wood. So once you place your torches and burning barrels, you'll always have a base that will be able to summon zombies and screamer hordes towards your way. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe if you find my videos useful at all. Bye bye!